Yo, welcome back to the checkup, and we back. New week, new video, and y'all see the title, man. It sucks. It sucks to see a good team with title aspirations get hit with the injury bug early in the season, especially a young team like the Denver Nuggets. It's tough. They're losers of their last 6 straight games and have a rematch with the Miami Heat. After remember that whole drama that took place between Jokic and Markieff Morris? The rematch is here, and the Nuggets are there's a slight chance they will be without their best player, which sucks. But right now, if you look at Denver's roster and you look at the injury list, it's crazy. No Jamal Murray, who's their second best player. Michael Porter Jr., who just signed a $207 million extension, is out with no timetable to return with the bad back. And then there's Nikola Jokic, who's questionable for tonight's game against the Miami Heat. He's been out the last 4 games with a wrist injury. The Nuggets have been relying on Aaron Gordon and their bench players to win them games, when that just isn't going to happen, especially in the Western Conference. It just won't happen. The injury that has hurt them the most, I'd say, is probably Michael Porter Jr., who might be out for the season. And it sucks because I think he had a lot of potential. He was playing bad before the injury, but he's still a 23, 24-year-old dynamic scorer with star potential. Some even say superstar potential. That's why Denver gave him the $207 million extension, but he just hasn't been able to play. Then with Jamal Murray's ACL tear from last season, he should be back soon, but that's another big score out for them, leaving Jokic all alone so far this season, who's been putting up MVP numbers, but he's been out the last 4 games. And when he is healthy, he can't do it by himself, especially with a team that has title aspirations. There have been positives, like Bones Hyland, who's been playing really well. He is literally a Quickley clone. He is a Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickley type of guy. Perfect pick. I love him on the Denver Nuggets team. It fits perfect. He's a great backup guard for them when Jamal Murray comes back. Will Barton has been playing well. He's been averaging about 16 points per game, which is good for his type of play. But that's not enough, especially with the injuries on this team. Denver might need another piece, even when Jamal Murray comes back, because their bench has just not been playing well. As a group, they're ranked 25th in bench points per game. And, when you want to compete at a high level, you're just not going to win with a bench like that. With teams like Phoenix, who's got a great bench, great starting 5, Golden State, who's got a great bench, and obviously there's no Klay Thompson or James Wiseman yet on that team, and they're the best team in the NBA. Those teams got depth. They're trying to compete. They're championship caliber teams. And, you look at the Denver Nuggets, they just don't got a bench. They got some solid little players individually, but it's just not a good group of bench players for them. You look at the starting 5, they're missing a lot of key guys right now. I just don't think Denver got enough yet, at least off the bench, because with the injuries, you're not going to win like this. Now, obviously, it's a super long season, and we're only at the quarter mark of this season, but the injuries have been concerning, and the depth of this team, even though, there are bench guys that are starting for them right now that usually would be on that bench, I just still don't see it. You got guys like Austin Rivers, who I like as a player. I will never forget the little time he had with the Knicks. It was fun. You got Campazzo, who I think is a very energetic player, great playmaker, smart. But I just don't think that can compete with the likes of Golden State, who's got, Andre Iguodala, veteran presence. And, guys like that, Kuminga, young player that can play well for them. Otto Porter, a shooter. They got guys that can compete and score when they need to and play defense. Denver, I don't really know. Jeff Green is solid. I don't really think they got a backup center like that. They don't use Bobo, who I think got potential to play. They don't use him. The only guys that I really can say are good bench pieces for them is Bones Hyland. And, if you really want to, if you want to make the bench stronger when Jamal Murray comes back, you can put Will Barton off that bench and try to have them two play together. And Monte Morris can be the starter. You can bump him up. I think that's a good idea, because Denver needs a little bit of a push. The injuries have been hurting them. Michael Porter Jr. being out is huge for them so far this season, and who knows when he comes back. And if you're Denver and you got a chance to win a title, you might have to go into the trade deadline and look to add some pieces, especially with this team's questionable health. Michael Porter Jr., remember coming into the draft, his draft class, he was a top 3 projected pick when it came to talent. But the concern was that back injury that he had in college, would it affect him? And it's been on and off, but now this looks like a season-ending type of thing. The nerve damage they're talking about, he might be out for the whole season. And that's big time because he's a guy that can give you 18, 19, 20 points per game, and a guy that can give you 40 on any given night. So that's big for the Denver Nuggets. The injuries have been killing them. And, like I said, it's still really early. It's still super early, especially for them. There's certain teams where I'm like, it's getting to that point. The Denver Nuggets, I got more patience with. They've been there. They know what it takes to get far in the playoffs. So I'm not going to rush them. But the injuries definitely, like I said, are a concern. They need a stronger bench. And they need more than Nikola Jokic, because if they're going to have to be relying on him only, they're not going to go far. They might make the playoffs, or they're probably going to make the playoffs. But, if Jamal Murray doesn't come back soon, the Nuggets are going to be in trouble. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Link will be down in the description. This has been The Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.